In a sign of India's massive diplomatic clout as a 21st century superpower under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and in a huge embarrassment for Turkish President Erdogan, India blocked and vetoes Ankara's entry in the BRICS bloc during the recent high-profile summit hosted by Russian President Vladimir Putin in Russia. The report by German publication Bild has caused quite a stir, with many European outlets picking up the headline. According to the Bild report, India vetoed any discussions on Turkey's BRICS entry, owing to Ankara's close ties with Pakistan, the global headquarters of terror. Turkey had been pitching hard to join the BRICS, and Erdogan even traveled to Kazan in Russia at the invitation of Putin. However, Erdogan's dreams were shattered as India vetoed any further expansion of the BRICS bloc. Reports suggest 1 to 2 other nations joined the Modi government in opposing any immediate expansion of the BRICS. Erdogan sharing the stage with Putin also backfired spectacularly on him, as he became the first NATO member nation's head of state to express desire to join a Russia-led bloc. Erdogan's Kazan visit has ruffled feathers in the West, with European members of NATO questioning his motives. While NATO is backing Ukraine with arms and an unlimited war chest, Erdogan is busy trying to impress Putin in Russia. Erdogan has also been repeatedly snubbed by the European Union, who has refused to accept Turkish entry into the EU simply because historically Turkey is not a European nation. Erdogan thought BRICS would be his way of getting back at the EU, but he did not anticipate India's influence in the bloc as a founding member and the fastest growing economy. Meanwhile, India has multiple reasons to deny Turkey a seat in BRICS. Erdogan's anti-India rhetoric is no secret. He has often attempted to interfere or comment on India's internal affairs, as well as spreading fake propaganda on Kashmir on global platforms including the United Nations. Though in a departure from practice, Erdogan steered clear of the Kashmir issue at the latest UN General Assembly, possibly due to Indian anger, and probably also because he was seeking an entry into BRICS and needs the approval of founding member India to do so. Indian investigators also exposed how Erdogan's government is funding Islamic radicalism and extremism in Kerala and Kashmir. An Indian official was quoted in the report saying, quote, "There is an effort to radicalize Indian Muslims and recruit fundamentalists coordinated from Turkey," unquote, adding that Turkey is, quote, "the hub of anti-India activities next only to Pakistan," unquote. However, despite the royal snub from India, Erdogan claims he will continue to push for Turkey's entry into the BRICS. So does he have no other option? Will India allow Turkey entry in the future or veto it once more? Now that remains to be seen. The website Turkey Today meanwhile explained how Erdogan's geopolitical ambitions might result in further diplomatic isolation for Ankara on the global stage. India certainly does not need an openly hostile nation in the BRICS, but it's not just Turkey. Its allies, Pakistan and Azerbaijan, too had expressed desire to join the bloc. However, no new memberships were considered at the Kazan summit due to opposition by India and other member nations. Now, this was the first major leaders summit of an expanded BRICS, which apart from founding members, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, now also includes new members, Saudi Arabia, Iran, United Arab Emirates, Egypt and Ethiopia. The summit was a huge geopolitical victory for Russian President Putin. The optics itself were enough to show the West that Russia is not as isolated in the international arena as the West would have the world to believe. The BRICS summit also saw the introduction of the concept of the new BRICS currency, which eventually aims to challenge the dominance of the US dollar in international trade. BRICS also favors payments for trade within the bloc in local currencies, thus bypassing the influence of international institutions like the IMF, while also protecting bilateral trade from any Western sanctions. Erdogan is desperate to join the BRICS. He wants to show the world that Turkey has a say in both West-led NATO as well as BRICS, which represents the developing world and the global South. Erdogan wants to have the same strategic autonomy which India enjoys on the world stage. While India is a founding member of the BRICS with Russia and China, New Delhi is also a founding member of the Quad Alliance with USA, Japan and Australia, which aims to keep Chinese expansionist ambitions in check in the Indo-Pacific. But it seems Erdogan will have to try harder if Turkey hopes to achieve India-like global status and influence. The Kazan summit was also significant for India and China, where Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping officially held a bilateral meeting for the first time in 5 years, as the two nations decided to end the 4-year bitter military standoff at the LAC in Himalayas, with the PLA agreeing to India's demands and pulling back from any neutral territory. So what do you believe? Is India right in vetoing Turkey's entry into the BRICS? Leave a comment with your opinion and subscribe to Inconnect News for more defense updates and geopolitics.